Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Radhika and I'm so happy to have you here with me. Welcome back to another video. It's been so long, like I've been wanting to film this video because this is my postpartum journey. I am not going to get into too many details of it because I just feel like I've still not healed from it well. It's been a lot for me as a person, and I'm sure it's been a lot for my family as well. Basically, on the 12th of May, my gynac called me and he told me that come in tomorrow and I need to see you. And this is so basically when you're in the last stretch of your pregnancy, every week the gynac will call you. Like every few days, he or she will want to check up on you. So I was like, cool. My due date was the 17th of May, and on the 12th he called me and he said come in tomorrow. And I went on the 13th morning, and I was told that my baby will be overdue. Like I was 39 weeks and 4 days when I delivered my child, and so I said, cool, yeah, of course, like I'll come in for a checkup. So he checked me on the 13th and he said, look, you're not going to be able to deliver this baby naturally. It's not going to happen. So we will have to go in for a C-section. There was some issue with the cervix, and he said that it's better if you do a C-section, because even if I induce labor or you do go into labor, you're just going to be in labor endlessly and the child is not going to come out. And I don't want to put you through that, and I don't want to put the child through that. So I said, okay. So he told me, so come in today evening and we'll have the baby today. And I said, wait, hold up. I'm not having this child. It was 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I said, I am not having this child at 5 o'clock today evening. It's not happening. So he's like, okay, so your next best bet is tomorrow. So I said, okay, because tomorrow, which is the 14th of May, happens to be my wedding anniversary. It was my 5th wedding anniversary. No, it was my 4th wedding anniversary. I went and delivered my baby at his maternity hospital. Now, that is something that I would not advise anyone to do, because I did it because I felt, oh, it'll be comfortable, hospital ka chick nahi hoga, and it'll be very homey, is what I felt. So I did what I thought was right at that time, and I went and I said, okay, you know what, we'll have this baby at the maternity hospital. And my baby was born and everything was seemingly okay. Apparently, my baby stopped taking feeds at about 1 a.m. and he didn't take any milk. Like he didn't take any feed till like 5:30, no, till 7 the next morning. 7 a.m. Yeah, from 1 a.m. to 7 a.m., which is not good. Like newborns are supposed to feed every 1.5 to 2 hours. Basically, they said that we need to rush him to the hospital. We need to get his lungs checked because he's probably not able to breathe well. And I was like, okay, fuck, like what do I do now? So before I knew it, there's an ambulance waiting down, and my tiny baby, just not even a day old, was taken to Surya Hospital, which is a hospital in Bombay. And obviously my husband went with him, and I couldn't obviously stay in that maternity home. So like in a very dramatic manner, I have removed my IV and I'm like, just I'm out of here. Like you fix me. Like stitches the, right? So they had to put like a tape on it, like a waterproof tape on it, because for a week or 10 days you can't get your stitches wet, obviously. So jab fresh stitches the, they had a proper like those hospital bandages. But after that, I told the nurse there that I need this taped up. I'm leaving. And obviously they were not happy about it, but I bounced. I admitted myself in Surya. So I don't want to deep dive into that because it was a very, very, very traumatic experience for me, for my whole family, and for my child more than anybody. Because I mean, as a mother, like I didn't get to hold him. I didn't get to feed him, which is what I wanted to do. I wanted to breastfeed my child. I didn't get to do that. I didn't get to hold him. I didn't get to see his eyes because he was completely like taped up, like he had the CPAP on him. It was just a food pipe in his mouth, and he had like those IVs and stuff. And like it was a very shitty experience, to say the least, for any human being. And what was more traumatic was the whole NICU experience, to see other babies. Like I have seen a 450-gram baby. Like I don't think I'll ever be able to get over that. And it was bad. Like it was bad. I wasn't healed, and I was sitting for about 6 to 7 hours right next to him in the NICU, because the mothers are allowed to go and see the baby. So I would be holding his hand. I couldn't see his face. I couldn't see his eyes. Like it was, I think my postpartum depression, which I can now talk about, started there. Like it just started there. It was bad. Our family friend, who was also a doctor, she came to visit, and I was inside with the baby. And there's a glass there, so आप glass के through देख सकते हो अंदर. Like the fathers, there's a certain hour that the families and the visitors can come, but they can't obviously touch and see the baby. They can't touch and feel the baby, but they can see the baby through the glass. So she had come to visit us, and she'd basically come to see me and check up on me. and she saw me and I was bawling. Like I think I was like it was miserable. I think the other mothers were also uncomfortable seeing me because everyone's holding it together in the NICU and I was out there like losing my mind and I was just sobbing. And she came in and she's like, no matter what, don't do this in front of your child. Like, you need to give him strength. And I couldn't hold it. And I was like, it's just bad. It's just so bad. Everything is so horrible. It was, I just feel like I'm still not over it. And the more, I think if I talk about it anymore, I'm just going to break down. But it is not an experience I don't think any human being deserves to see this and be on the other side. And I don't know how moms who've had premature babies or, like whatever, like for whatever reason their child is in the NICU and separated from them. I don't know how they do it because some of those babies were in the NICU for like 3 months, 2 months, and I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they ever recover from that because even today I can hear the NICU beep beep machine of the machines. I can smell the damn sanitizer in my nose. Like I had to sanitize my hands every time I went in. I can just anyway. So that is how my postpartum started. I'm just going to get into. So obviously there was very little scope for the initial healing जो होता है कि आपको bed rest पे रहना है 10-15 दिन, if you've had a cesarean. You have to eat certain foods or whatever. My mom and my mother-in-law were making sure that I eat the foods like Indian diet के हिसाब से जो आपको खाना चाहिए. But वो जो healing and then they say that massages करवाओ and all that, वो सब नहीं हुआ मेरा. I don't think I was in the zone only कि मैं किसी की सुनूं. Like to a point even the doctor told me go home and all. I said I'm not leaving without my child. I'm not leaving this premise without my baby. So yeah, he was in there for 7 days and 3 days he was with me in my room, and for about 10-11 days we were in the hospital. 10 days we were in the hospital. On the 11th day I came back home. Obviously once I came back home, I came back to my mom's. Like I let my guards down. He was so freshly out of the NICU and he's so tiny, and obviously because of the trauma he went through, I felt a certain kind of separation anxiety that I believe he also felt, where I couldn't let go. Like I was not okay with anyone holding him even. Like in my family obviously thought I've lost my marbles, and I initially very early on started having disagreements with everybody because I didn't know how to express how I'm feeling. And like everyone comes from a good place, right? For some reason I just couldn't let go. Like I wouldn't let anyone change his diaper. um and the first, I think 2 months were bad because he would sleep through the day and be awake through the night. And I wasn't taking anyone's help other than my husband's. I didn't want, I don't know what was going on with me, but I just couldn't take it. Like on the 38th day, I remember, of his birth, I had a very bad breakdown where I just thought that this is it. Like I cannot go on any further in this life like this. And obviously it was my parents held my hand through it. I have very supportive family friends who are doctors and therapists who really, really, like, I'll always be indebted, who um, saved me from me actually. And my friends, the 2-3 friends that I was willing to like text back and just, because I was so in my head and I just felt like nobody's getting what I'm saying. I felt everyone became that this is my relation with the baby, so I need to fulfill that. And I just couldn't like fathom that because I was like, hold up, like it's nobody's relation with the baby. He's brand new here. He only knows his mother. So I need to like just fully be present. And everyone was like, no, but I am this to the baby and I am that to the baby, and like, and in a good way, I believe. But for me it was getting too much. Like I just wanted to shut off. Like I remember telling Rishabh at one point that I lock my bedroom door and said I did not want to meet anybody. And I in fact told him that if you have this conversation with me, I will lock you out. Like I don't want anyone. As it is, I'm breastfeeding the baby. I mean, I don't need food for him from out. I'm going to sit inside. Just मेरा खाना, जेल में कैसे देते ना, वैसे दे देना मुझे और मैं खा लूँगी. Like it was that I was in that zone. So my doctor actually told me that it will start easing out when you start getting your first period, because that is when your hormones start regulating. So I got this is a strange coincidence. My last period date, okay, before my baby, was the 10th of August. And my first period date after the baby was the 10th of August. So 10th of August 2024 was my last date, and 10th of August 2025 was my first date after the baby, which blows my mind. I don't know how that had happened, but exactly 1 year later, I got my period again. And with every cycle, I feel like mentally I eased a little bit. But having said that, I feel personally that my entire brain chemistry has changed. मुझे ऐसे लगता है कि मेरा पूरा मानसिक संतुलन बिगड़ के वापस ट्रैक पे आया है, बट आई एम नॉट द सेम पर्सन. Postpartum, you do obviously go through identity, like an identity shift. You're you're no longer just, even with your partner, you're no longer just husband wife, or you're not just partners. You are a mother and father now. I became so fiercely protective towards a baby that I know would have been in great hands had I not even been around. Like I could have taken some time off to sleep. Like he would be fine. But मैं वो भी नहीं कर पा रही थी. मतलब मैं, everyone's like sleep when the baby sleeps. I had such major insomnia during my pregnancy and post delivery that I just couldn't sleep. Like to date, I am unable to sleep no matter how hard I try. And I think that is also one of the reasons why it hit me more, because some therapists, whoever I've spoken to, has told me that the first thing you need to do is sleep. That's the only way you're going to heal physically also, and emotionally and mentally also. And I'm to date unable to just like rest. I'm just unable to rest. I'm extremely restless and I'm extremely on pins. It's definitely not a good thing, but it is what it is. I'm very protective of my child, but I have learned to let go a little bit, and I am feeling like myself. I haven't got my pink back yet, but I am feeling like myself a little bit closer to who I used to be. But I just know that I'll never be the same person. Like, your brain chemistry is altered, your responsibilities have increased by so much. Um, you are now responsible for a child, you're responsible for yourself. So that you have to take better care of yourself now that you have a child, which is something that I feel I neglected a lot even after having him. And now I'm like, okay, yeah, shit, I have to buck up, because as someone who anyway cannot trust anyone with a baby, if I'm not doing well, who's going to look after him? So you have to take care of yourself. Your body changes drastically. Like, I assumed that I will have this baby out and I am going to be back to my shape, and that boat has sailed. Like, that ship has sunk. I don't know whether I'll be able to be back to who I used to be, like visually, and feel like myself physically, because I gained about 25 kgs in my pregnancy, and as of now I have lost about 20 kgs. But even those 4 to 5 kgs that I'm still to lose are looming over my head. Like, I'm feeling so burdened by that weight, and I'm feeling so, I don't feel good. Basically, that's what it is. I don't feel good in my body, and I don't feel good uh, when I look at myself in the mirror. I don't feel good when I'm dressing up or whatever, which obviously I have completely stopped now. I don't go anywhere, so I don't dress up. Yeah, so there is a certain kind of shift, and there is a certain kind of identity crisis, and then there is, you're also like, you're so used to being independent that you've never, like, at least for me, I've never had to ask anyone, can I go here, can I go there. Now everything revolves around, if my baby's napping, how much is he eating, how much can I leave him for like an hour and a half, can I catch up with a friend, can I go run some errands. Like, there is so much. Your independence goes for a toss. Like, I love my husband, but I know that he can be a lot more independent. Like, he can still go play football, he can still, once the baby naps, hang out with his friends if he wants to. He can still sit and watch a movie without thinking too much about, oh, in how many hours is he going to wake up, or in how many hours is the baby going to wake up, or has he eaten, is his diaper changed. Like, these are not things that will come to people who are not mothers. Okay, let me put it that way. आप नहीं सोचने वाले कि बच्चे ने खाना खाया नहीं खाया, सोया नहीं सोया, कितने घंटे में उठेगा, कितना पानी पिया है. Like, nobody's going to think those things. So I just feel like as a mother, you're just programmed to multitask to a point that it just consumes your entire identity. Like, you, for a while, no matter how hard I'm trying to just be Radhika, I'm only Agastya's mom. Like, at this point, I am just able to be Agastya's mom, and that's just something that I am working on right now, because that's not all I want to be as a person, and that's not all I want my child to grow up seeing. So that, like, my work took a hit because I was freelancing. I had to give up a lot of projects towards the end of my pregnancy because of my amniotic fluid issue. So I had to stay home and in bed. So everything that was online and doable, I was doing. and then 1 year of having the baby I wasn't really working. So and ये 1 डेढ़ साल में दुनिया ऐसे बदल गई, मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है with you know AI has boomed so much. The industry had a certain requirement before AI really took over, and now that AI is there, it's easier for a lot of industries now. So what can you offer that AI can't, So work took a hit, my mental health took a hit, my body took a hit, and that's what postpartum does to you. Like, I now want to believe that I am out of the depressive phase. So yeah, I feel postpartum hit me worse because I wasn't sleeping, because I had a very traumatic birth story. Not birthing story, but after birth story was very traumatic. And I feel मेरा लोगों से भरोसा थोड़ा सा उठ गया, because in 9 months of your pregnancy, you were treated very differently. Like, I was, and not that I was pampered and अरे भाई रात का जो बोले उसको दे दो, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था. But you're treated as a human being. The minute the child is born, the mother is looked through. Nobody was asking me how I'm doing. Like, it just how I'm feeling, how I'm doing, what's going on. किसी को पड़ी नहीं थी, किसी को पूछना भी नहीं था. Like, they didn't want to hear what I have to say. Like, if I've had trauma, I'm feeling trauma, they didn't want to hear it. So I felt that hit me worse, because dude, like, was my job just birthing? Like, मेरे को बच्चा पैदा करके आपको देना था? Like, is this what I was for? So I just felt very like cheated, and I felt very betrayed and small. Let me put it that way. I felt very betrayed and I felt very small. And then I felt like, dude, if you don't care about me, why should I give you access to my child? So I became even more fiercely protective. And now that I think of it 1 year down the line, I feel maybe, just maybe, it was not about me. Like, my baby had been through so much. Maybe it had to be about him, and that's all a mother wants. Like, I mean, now I realize that your child comes first before anyone and anything, even you. But at that time, I felt very betrayed by very many people that I felt were very close to my heart. There have been a lot of grudges I feel I held in my postpartum, which I don't need to now. But yeah, it's been a very roller coaster of a journey emotionally. It's a lot to unpack. Also, like, postpartum really throws you in a deep, shitty hole. के बाहर निकलना is a task and a half, but it also really shows you reality of how resilient you can be as a person who's really in your corner. And I just feel like it changes you as a person, because you just become so strong, you just become so fierce about your baby, you become so fierce about yourself, which I think I wasn't till I had the child. Like, I just didn't have that nature till I had my baby. Like, I wasn't so fiercely protective. I wasn't protective of myself at all. Like, I was somebody, you want to walk over me, okay. Like, हाँ ठीक है. Like, outwardly I've been very like, तू क्या उखाड़ सकता है मेरा types, but inwardly मैं ऐसी नहीं हूँ. So that is something that I have learned in this season of my life, and I have really learned. I say this to everyone. I had a friend who delivered her baby 3 months back, and she messaged me saying that, I'm feeling this and I'm feeling that, and my body and this and that. And my first thing to her was, give yourself grace. Like, I said it, and then Kiara Advani said it. I'm just saying, like, that's what I told her. And then Kiara Advani did a whole interview on giving yourself grace, and she cried and everything. And I cried watching her, but these were my exact words to her: give yourself grace for 6 months. Because for 6 months, you don't fucking know what you're doing. Like, you do not know. You don't know the child. Like, you know the child, she is yours, but you do not know the child. Like, you don't know what happens next. For me, my baby is over a year, and I still don't know him, because I don't want to be have a lot of time for the rest of this video, because I'm a mom whose baby is awake now. So the only reason I'm posting this on YouTube here is because, frankly, there's not a lot of, I don't know why, but even putting this out there makes me feel safe. I feel like this has grown to be a safe space for me, in terms of, not because I have a lot of subscribers. In fact, I have very, like, गिन सकती हूँ मैं उतने subscribers, and गिन सकती हूँ मैं कितने लोग मेरे videos देख रहे हैं. But मुझे ऐसे लगता है that I am able to be myself and just unabashedly speak my mind, which I don't think happens at a lot of places in life. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you managed to stick around to the end. I know it was a long one. I hope you enjoy watching my channel. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you so much for watching, and it means the world to me.